Hello, everybody, and welcome to the tasting room.
The tasting room.
We taste.
Sounds so mysterious when you say it that way. Okay, but I think everyone might notice
Them shirts.
that we got some shirts. We're official now.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just need jackets.
Oh, the jackets.
The jackets are
We need
nice.
jackets, and I feel like we're actually skipping a beat. We need glasses, too. I think eventually that'll be the sweet spot. If we could get some, like, cool, fun, edged glasses.
We'll just go everywhere looking like, what is it in Monsters, Inc. when the kid's like a super fan and he like got like the glasses and the hat and the little pennants and stuff.
That'll be us.
That'll be us.
Us for bourbon.
For ourselves.
For bourbon. Yeah, just for us and nobody out there. I hope you enjoy this descent into
What
madness.
are we tasting today in the tasting room?
I don't know.
Oh.
What are we tasting today in the tasting room?
Just look at the bottle.
Oh, where did these come from?
So when we did the mint juleps, which were decidedly disgusting.
Oh, absolutely trash.
But when we did that, we noticed that of the pre-made, we liked the Old Forester was like the best version of that. So I thought, well, maybe we will like regular Old Foresters, so we should probably pick some up.
Do it, yeah.
But there's a lot of kinds. There's regular Old Forester, and then they have 4 that are bottled in these like year designations, which just means that it's like the style that it was made. So there's like a 1820s one, there's a 18 something, and then this one is 1910 and 1920. So the 1910, so the original, Owly Brown, that was his very old man name, Owly Brown.
Yeah, can you imagine popping out a child and being like, what do I call
Owly.
you? Squirrely?
Yeah,
No, Owly.
Owly Brown was over there making stuff, and so the 1910 is called Old Fine Whisky, and basically they make it in his exact process. Like the way that he made it in 1910 is the way that they make this one. Now this one's 93 proof, which is pretty standard.
So would this be their signature?
No, they have like just Old Forester.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't get because these sounded fancy.
I like fancy.
You know me, I like fancy. And then the 1920s, so after Prohibition had started, Owly actually had a permit to make bourbon medicinally.
Oh.
So he was one.
Sneaky.
Old Forester was one of the few places that was granted like license to consider it medicinal.
Essentially, we are just giving you healthy tips today.
Health tips.
Yeah.
So the Prohibition style is bottled at what at the time was considered barrel strength, which is 115 proof. So we know from other barrel strength things we've tried, some can be like in the 120s, 133. This is 115. So it isn't literally barrel strength, it's just commemoratively
Just in that style.
barrel strength.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
I don't think I've had Old Forester other than the mid julep, so I don't think I've tried this one yet by itself.
I have tried them, just as you can see, I opened these bottles and drank some the other day, but I haven't compared them side by side.
So we're going to do a blind taste test.
Yeah, we don't know, as always. Steve sets up these blind tastings. He said we need to try the one that's in the Bardstown cup first. This is how we're designating which is which.
I'm looking...
I know, you're looking at
The color is
depth
drastically
and the color.
different between the two. In the glass, but not as much in the bottle. The 1910 looks darker to me. But it could just be where I'm sitting with the lights.
It could be where we're sitting.
I feel like that's cheating, though. But again, it's just a slight... So anyway, we'll just do it in the order,
don't forget, so the 1910 is done in the old style of process. The 1920 is bottled at the commemorative barrel strength. So
I'm going to tell you, just sniffing them both, I can smell a difference between the two of these. Like, this one gives me that port, almost like that sweeter finish, and then this one has like a very caramel or maple syrup.
It's definitely maple syrup. Is that your non-Bardstown
That's
cup?
my non-Bardstown. Yeah, I'm getting maple, like really like...
Extra maple.
Yeah,
like a
like
steak.
a candy almost.
Yeah, like a seasoning or a rub on barbecue. That'd be good to go with barbecue. Why do we not have ribs right now?
Is one of those bourbons where sniffed it and sweet, and I feel like it also retained that sweetness when I took a sip.
Which is surprising because usually you smell it and then when you sip it, that's sort of like just part of the smells. It still is like relatively sweet.
It's like a cherry. Do you get a cherry? Like a maraschino flavor to it almost. Not like, I don't want to say maraschino and then be like, oh, like maraschino cherry, but like...
I know, I'm just trying
You know when
to
you like open the jar and you get the first whiff?
I'm trying to go through my mind and be like, maybe is this one the fancy one or is this the old style one? Or is this the super strong one? It doesn't taste very strong though.
It does have a little bit of a hug in the
But it's not like Oh God, barrel strength.
All right, on to the second one.
On to the second one.
The mapley.
The mapley caramel scented one. That really, like, the maple caramel continues with the flavor.
Gosh, it's crazy. Like, we maybe not have aired it on the YouTube channel, but we have done comparative tastings before, and if you want to become a Patreon supporter, those will end up at patreon.com/the Bourbon Study. But what's interesting is usually when we do the tastings, they're very similar and have subtle note differences. These taste like two different bourbons.
Completely different.
Yeah, like I would not, blindfold on me, I think I would be like, you give me something else.
I don't know which one I like better of the two.
I think for me, I personally like the first one a little bit better, but that's just because I'm not a big maple fan.
I was going to say, you like cherry stuff, you like fruit forward things. But like, I am a maple fan.
This gives me when I say cherry for this, I want like Italianized cherry.
Like bomb pop cherry, like classic cherry flavored candied cherry, like a Lifesaver. Remember the Lifesavers?
Yeah. Lifesavers? Yes, Grandma, I do. Check my purse. I got some unwrapped in there.
You ever been to a perfume mania?
You ever been to a perfume mania before? You ever had Sonny, you ever had a Lifesaver? You remember those?
Some in my bag. They don't have a wrapper anymore. They're just down the bottom.
Did you ever used to get at Christmas, my
box
dad, the box
like
of them, and you'd be like, so many Lifesavers, and you'd be like, I'm putting one in my backpack.
Do you remember?
These are going to end up in the laundry.
You're probably going to say no, but do you remember when they sold just the holes separately?
Are you hitting on me? You know what's crazy with one being barrel strength, one not being barrel strength? My vote is the Bardstown is the one in the first glass that we tried, I think is 1920. Oh. The only reason I'm saying this is because I get more of a burn on the first one than I do the second one. So I think I think the first one is the 1920 because it burns my throat more than the second glass.
And I would say, like, after tasting this one a little bit more, yes, it's sweet and it has maples, but it's got more of that like woody flavor.
I was just gonna say I'm getting a little bit of like a smoky toast.
This would be more, if I were to guess based on like Owley and his old-timey practices, I'd say the non-labeled glass is the 1910, and you're right, the Bardstown glass is the 1920.
Steve?
Yeah?
What are they?
Bardstown Bourbon Company is 1920.
Hey!
Boom, boom. If you couldn't hear it off camera, Steve said we're right. We're not just dancing for the fun of it, which we do like to do. Okay, which one now that we know which is which? We know the first one we tried was the 1920. Which one do you think you like better?
I think I like the 1910.
I think I like the 1920.
But because you don't like mapley stuff.
I think it's like, I like maple stuff, like, but spare. It's one of those things where like I love a good waffle, but I don't think like you can't have it. Then you put the maple syrup and you're like, God, this does go good. But I don't want like waffle flavored potato chips and stuff like that.
No, but if you had waffle flavored potato chips,
I'll eat it.
They'd go really good with the 1910.
I
think of the two, I think the 1920 is much more versatile. I think it's more in line with like a traditional bourbon that's just like kicked up a notch because of the extra proof.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I mean, they're both great.
They're both incredibly drinkable, just as like drinking neat, which I really enjoy. Yeah.
Which I don't like to have to put it into cocktails. Usually, this is how I drink all the time. Like every day, it's like this. I rarely put it in anything. What?
Should we talk about your drinking habits? I will say I am actually really impressed. And again, I feel like I'm going to end up saying this every week. These are some of my favorites that we've had because like the Rabbit Hole, these are going to have that memorable flavor, I think, for me. Like, I'm going to remember, okay, maple cherry. Like, and I like that. I enjoy that distinct flavor. I think that's what my bourbon flavor profile is, distinct flavors.
These are generally widely available. The 1910 was a bit harder to find. We had to go to like 2 or 3
Do you know
stores.
Prices, price-wise?
They're all around like 47 to 55.
Okay.
There's, like I said, there's 4 in this like classic
varying prices,
variant
I'm sure.
range that range from like 47 to 60.
Yeah.
But reasonable, and certainly for the quality, like I said, the drinkability of being able to drink it neat, not having to put it in a cocktail to like get the excitement out of it. I would strongly recommend either of these.
Yeah.
If you like fruity stuff, if you like cherry flavors, 1920. If you like mapley stuff, if you like caramel stuff, get the 1910. Also, like, this would be great in some like cocoa or something.
Yeah, I was really thinking like it'd be good for like cocoa, something smoky, maybe something with coffee or bacony or even like we said, waffle, something
like
with that
any
like
application
ready.
that you
Yeah,
use maple
this would be a
type
great
stuff.
winter bourbon. I think like a great fall
It'd be
morning.
good for the hot toddy that we're
yeah,
neglecting to make
yeah.
because it's Florida and it's 1 billion degrees.
I hate to say it, but this would be a fantastic breakfast bourbon.
What isn't?
I like how I judged you earlier about your drinking habits, and now I'm like, this would be great for the breakfast. Yeah.
Down the poster.
Well, there you have it, everybody. That is the Old Forester 1910, the 1920. We
Yeah,
both.
like we said, we can't recommend
Yes.
like one over the other. It's more about like what are you feeling like at the moment? What's your application? What are you eating with these?
I think they're both worth the investment, honestly. Like, because it's exactly what Jill said. I think it's different moods. But if you try any of them, you'll really have to let us know what you think. Please, if you're watching this, just leave some comments, send us an email,
like,
whatever.
Based on trying the 1910, 1920, I'd like to pick up the 1800s ones now, see what the difference is with those.
Yeah, well, especially if they do it in that, like you said, with the one being like that classic style. I'm wondering if it goes even further back, like if there's a different style they do it with then too.
So the 1870 is called the original batch.
Did that really start in 1870?
Like that's when Old Forester.
Jeez Louise,
started.
wow. I want us, when we start our own bourbon, to have different expressions, and we'll call them 1885, 1985, and 2015.
Yeah, for Back to the Future, obviously.
And we'll have the McFly,
Yeah.
or we'll have the Fox.
The Doc.
Yeah, the Doc. Like, that'll be our whole thing. The train station will
Listen,
be our, like,
if Michael
smoky
J.
rick
Fox
house
is
one.
involved, you don't have to, like, talk me into it. I'm on board.
So, like we said, if you've had any of the Old Forester, you really will have to let us know what you think. Oh,
The 1897 is the bottled in bond. Okay, so we've got the original batch.
is 1870.
1870. 1897 is the bottled in bond, which is 100 proof. Then the 1910 is the made in the Owly style.
And that's 93 proof.
And the 1920 is the Prohibition, get your doctor to write you a note.
115 proof,
115.
yes. Yeah. So give them, if we recommend them, if you try them, let us know. If you've tried them before, let us know. Let us know what bourbon you're drinking. And if it's not bourbon, let us know. We still want to chit chat. So we appreciate everybody for watching. Again, if you feel like supporting us, we've got a Patreon site going where we have a bunch of extra content. We do extra tastings, edits, like unedited videos, outtakes, and all that sort of fun stuff.
You want to see the unedited version of this. Trust me.
I don't even know if you actually do, but it will change you.
Yeah.
So again, you can check that out at patreon.com/thebourbonstudy, and you can send us an email, thebourbonstudy@gmail, or get in touch with us on Twitter at thebourbonstudy. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because we don't just have bourbon here on the Ampliverse. We have so many other things to check out.
And if you're interested in some swag, let us know, because we're considering like
well, we
options
could
for
get these going.
stickers and shirts and pennants and
we liked
hats
all that
and-
stuff, so right now we're just making it for us. Not to be rude, but we're like, oh, let's just do it for us right now. So it's like, let us know. Yeah, we'll see what we can get. We'll see what I already think. I think for the holidays we're gonna have to do the like glass, like limited edition. Maybe we could do like a limited edition thing or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. So, so stay tuned for all of that fun stuff. Thank you for following along with us on this journey, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.